It's Toby from Heavyweight MMA, today with UFC fighter Navajo Stirling ahead of his light heavyweight clash with Bruno Lopes on March 28th at UFC Fight Night in Seattle. How are you, brother?
Yes, good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Bro, your last fight was against Bellato. That was a tough fight, man. How did you find it? Rodolfo
Yeah,
Bellato.
yeah. I felt like I felt in control in terms of um, when I sized him up and was in the cage, putting my shots together. I felt like I was better than the guy, and it was um, just something on my own where I just felt like I should have put him away and I couldn't, and yeah, just like my own body was failing me, in that fight. And yeah, he was probably one of the better opponents I've fought today, like in terms of his toughness and just his ability to just like keep pressuring. But yeah, in terms of that, yeah, it's a tough Brazilian, and we're up against another tough Brazilian. So yeah,
Bro, Bellato is a tough guy, and that's the thing, bro. As you come into the UFC, as you get deeper, they only get tougher, right? And
yeah,
you hit him
yeah,
with the kitchen sink pretty much. Like you gave him a lot, especially in the first round, and that would
yeah,
put away most people. But in the UFC, is a different caliber, right? So I think
yeah.
just his resilience kept him in the fight. Really, like it was a closer fight than you probably wanted it to be because of his resilience alone. Like you cracked him.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, I was like on the local scene. I was able to sort of do what I could. I'd, dance over everyone. And yeah, now at this level, like everyone's a professional athlete. They train like hard as all day long. And yeah, it's just kind of caught up to me a little bit, I think. And now I'm like really trying to refine some of the details and go over like where I'm going wrong. And I feel like that's what I've done in the past months since that fight. It was just really peeling back the layers of my training with the coaches, and they think it was like I was training a lot. Like I'm always putting in the work, but it was just in the wrong areas, I think. And now just with this camp coming through and having the more focus on certain areas and tapering off like the strength and conditioning a bit and really just focusing on my speed. It's starting to. I noticed felt like a heavy loads come off my shoulders a bit, um, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how this next one goes.
Yeah, nice, man. How would you compare? So the two fighters, how would you compare them, man, between the new one, Bruno Lopes and Bellato? I would say Bellato, for me, in my mind, is maybe a bit of a tougher test. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. That's what I was thinking. I think just because like the caliber of guys that Bellato's fought as well. I think he even went had a pretty another hard fight with Jimmy Crute, and after getting battered in the first round, it was probably like a 10-8 round, I think, from when I remember watching it back. And yeah, just his resilience to like push forward. I think even he had a fight with Potiera where he was like getting bashed and then he come back and won the fight, and so I think that part of him was in him, especially after his big controversial charade that went down in the fight previously with Paul Craig. He was probably like got a boot up the ass to really like lock in for his next fight, and yeah, he definitely brought it to me. And so honestly, I was just like putting my shots together. Like, man, this guy won't go away. I missed a lot of shots, even though it looked like I landed a lot. I just couldn't find the sweet spot. But yeah, I
That
think so.
was that the most you've been tested, like physically in a fight?
I don't know. Like I've fought like fights, but I've always felt in control. I always feel like I'm winning rounds. Like there's one thing. I think the beating odds guys, they all know that I'm very good at. Like I have like a conscious effort to win the round. I've been like that my whole career. I think about like, oh, am I losing this round? Or I've lost one round. Now I've got to turn it on for two, the next two. And so I felt in control of every round. Like I felt like even though it was a close fight, I was always like winning each round as they were going by. I wasn't just like throwing random shots. But the one fight I think that put me on my heels a bit was my second one against Urslan. he definitely like because he rocked me in the first, and I thought I was seeing daisies in the first round. I actually looked sharper in the footage than what I remember. I remember being like, "Holy shit!" Like, what was that? I think my body sort of took over in that moment, but yeah, um, yeah, it's just a bit of back and forth with him, and I felt like I had to win 2 rounds after being down one. That was a tough one.
Yeah, bro. And this next guy, bro, Lopez, he's pretty skilled. Like he can do everything, but what I imagine he's going to do is like his fight against that Gadishlayov or something.
Yeah,
He pressing against the fence because
yeah,
you got a lot of reach on him. You got 4.5 inches
yeah,
reach according to Tapology, and then you got
yeah,
like 2 inches height on him. So if he stays at the distance and if you straighten up your punches, like you keep him away so easy. So I reckon
yeah,
what he's going to do is pressure you most likely to the cage and work that
yeah.
pressure against the fence, which he's seen some success with. Is that what you're kind of expecting?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I can't see him wanting to like, he's had a pretty rocky start to the UFC and he's probably gonna be looking to um, get a big win and I think he's gonna try and they all do it, like they've always got the same game plan as to like sort of crush the pressure on me and press me against the fence, and look to take me down and just make it messy. They just try to make it messy. But I've been preparing against that for a long time now. I'm prepared to wrestle back in. From what I did see in the footage against the tall, lengthy Russian guy, I was like, oh, I know I've got better takedown defense than this guy, especially on the cage. That's where I feel like I thrive is on the cage, offense and defense. So yeah, if I see the opportunity to take him down there, I will. But yeah, it's the game plan. It's just to really stick and move but just find the shot a little bit more as opposed to forcing it. Is what I've made a mental note of. Just to really pick my shots and really visualize the finish. Yeah, take hitting what's open, hitting the leg kicks for sure, and then sticking long on my jab, and then yeah, putting them all together and overwhelm the guy and just put him away.
Yeah, man. In your fight against Bellato, you had some nice straight attacks in the beginning, kind of faded a little bit as it went on, but you got to mix up
Yeah,
your shots, bro. You're throwing elbows, you're looking for knees.
yeah,
You maybe
yeah,
could have thrown a few more leg kicks, but yeah, you're good at mixing
yeah,
it up.
yeah, yeah. I always forget. I've been forgetful of my leg kick, so that was like it's always been a big part of my game. And I was just watching some of my footage. I'm like, why am I not throwing this leg kick? That's right there. Well, I know like certain setups for it to land in this certain situation. So yeah, I think you could probably see a few more leg kicks of mine coming out for definitely.
And bro, training with a fight coming up, it's nice to have someone again in you that's fighting with you, right? Fighting with Izzy as the main
Yeah.
event man. It's a good thing. You can work up to it together as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's a good thing to like kind of once again just be on the side of the main event guy, and getting another look at what's to come for myself. I mean, that's what I used to think about when I was flying overseas with him prior, and yeah, to go and do it again while I'm there, it's and just like see the kind of privilege that they get when you're up on top. It's and more motivating for me for sure. But yeah, I always like I love the grind. I love being on the bottom and having to work yourself up. It's like you're in your own movie. So I enjoy that part as well.
Any pressure on maintaining that 8-0 streak, man, the undefeated MMA streak?
To be honest, I don't even care about the being undefeated. When I think back to the last time I lost, it was man, I was 21 when I last lost in combat sports, and yeah, I still have that pain of losing. I know what the pressure is of like being undefeated, and yeah, I guess I've thrown that to the wind. I don't think that really matters in MMA anymore. Um, it doesn't make or break your career, and I think just taking out some names and having good fights is what people are going to remember you for. And so that's all I care about is just getting those fights in and just becoming the best that I can be. I don't really care about undefeated record.
Just adds a bit of a buzz to the fights, though, right? When you get an
Yeah,
undefeated prospect in there, it just adds a bit of a
yeah,
buzz. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
waiting to see, can this guy actually be beaten? Because you don't know until it
yeah,
happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Bro, fighting in Seattle, is that a good thing, or you prefer to be back in somewhere closer to home like Australia?
To be honest, I don't care. I enjoy fighting in America. I enjoy flying and going to see different places. Um, yeah, I've never been to Seattle before. I honestly don't mind. I enjoy the American fan base, the crazy bunch, bro. And yeah, it's always good to go over. I didn't mind fighting an Aussie. It is nice though, like when we aren't fighting an Aussie, because when our cards are not so packed, and you don't have to share the attention with the coaches and stuff as much. So I think just one is always a good flying over of one, to not really feel lonely, but not feel too overwhelmed, and not having the space away, as well. I think it's
Yeah.
a good. I've never fought with just one teammate, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
No worries, bro. So what can we expect for you for this year, Navajo? How many fights you're hoping to get out?
Man, honestly, 2 to 3, 2, 3, 4. Man, whatever can my body let me, and I'm just going to try and stay ready as all year, pretty much. This is all I'm really like focusing on, just being a bit more onto it, inside and outside of the cage. I feel like last year I just was living above my means a little bit. I was spending way too much money, and going out partying way too much. And I've like realized, like, man, if I want to be the best, man, I've got to make some changes. And yeah, I feel like I've made a lot of changes to my life, and I'm starting to enjoy my being by myself again, and doing my own thing, and focusing on my content and all that stuff as well, and just planning my life ahead a bit more this year. Just being more onto it, bro. I
Yeah.
feel like that's just something I'm excited for this year.
That's a bit of a temptation for fighters, right? To fall into that when you get into the big leagues, when you start earning a
Yeah,
few dollars, like to fall into that
yeah,
party life, yeah.
yeah. I never was like I'd always had a bit of balance. Like I've never been like off the rails ever, bro. Like everything I do is for the sport. And even last year, like I just felt like I could be a little bit better. I could have a bit more focus, and uh, just yeah. When I see some of the young guys as well, the way they train, and yeah, just like always puts me into, it puts it into perspective for me, like, man, I really got to grind to get to the top and get what I want, like just like these guys are. And they're all going through the broke, being broke and putting it together, and I'm just like, man, I'm not that, and I need to be. I've got the tools to help me, let me be here a bit more often. I just need to focus on the martial arts and getting better at that. And I'm trying to gradually add load to my, training schedule and stuff as well, and so I don't burn out, but actually get better. So yeah,
True, bro. And make sure you invest a bit of that cash, bro. It doesn't
yeah,
come so
yeah.
often.
That's
Chuck a
another
piece of
one.
it away, bro. Chuck a piece
Yeah,
of it away into some sort of
yeah,
investment, and then you can just forget
yeah,
about it, and one day it'll grow. Yeah.
yeah, bro. That's 100%.
Yeah, cool. All right, bro. Looking forward to your fight coming up against what's his name? Bruno Lopes. Hoping you'll get the KO, bro. I think you'll be hunting it, I
Yep,
imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, 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 bro. Just gotta let it come to me, place the shot, and just find it. Just like old Conor McGregor used to say, just place the shots, man.
True, bro. All
So
right,
yeah.
man. Thanks for your time once again.
See,
Take it
brother.
easy.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers,
you.
bro. Thanks,
Thanks for
man.
that.